I rise in support of the D.C. Voting Rights Act. I rise from a new seat in a new chair in the United States Senate. My desk has now moved to the center aisle, and I speak from this desk for the very first time to speak about a new opportunity to expand democracy. That's what the D.C. Voting Rights Act is. It's about democracy. It's about fairness. It's about empowerment. The D.C. Voting Rights Act simply gives the district representatives full voting rights in the United States House of Representatives. I also want to point out to my colleagues, this is not only about the District of Columbia, but this is also about Utah. What this legislation does, in a sense of fairness and parity, grant an additional seat to the District of Columbia and an additional seat to the state of Utah that barely missed that in the last census. So what we're doing here is trying to adjust, without amending the Constitution, wrongs that need to be righted. The D.C. Voting Rights Act gives the District of Representatives full voting rights in the House of Representatives. Right now, the District of Columbia is represented, and I might add very ably, by the gentlelady, the Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton, a distinguished public servant. She is called a delegate to Congress. We call her Congresswoman, and when she moves around her great area, she's called that. And what is she allowed to do? One, she's able to have a voice. That's important. So the people of the District of Columbia do have a voice. But in Congress, a voice also usually means a vote. That's where it doesn't work the way we think it should. She's able to vote in her committees, but she is not able to vote on the House floor. We think that's wrong. We think she should have a voice, and we think she should have a vote. The residents of the District of Columbia are the only residents in a democratic country where the people who live in the capital city do not have a vote in determining the fate and direction of the nation. So what we've essentially done is disempower the over 600,000 residents of the District of Columbia. Yet we don't disempower them when we call them to call up and serve for war. The District of Columbia, through its National Guard, has served ably and willingly, and yet even though they go to fight for the entire United States of America, and they're sent to war by the Congress of the United States, they have no voice, no vote in the direction of their own country. This is not right. D.C. residents go by the same rules and laws as the United States of America. They pay taxes. They pay, by the way, federal taxes because they see themselves as part of the federal government. But the federal government doesn't see that they have full representation. I wish sometime when we have people up in the balconies, we could have those D.C. residents that have fought in the war. They have fought through the National Guard, and they have fought through the regular military. They have fought and they've died, and most recently in Iraq and Afghanistan. But when they come home, they're treated like second-class citizens. Well, I just don't think that's right. And I also happen to believe if you pay taxes, there was a famous patriot said, if you pay taxation, you should have representation. Well, if it's good enough for Patrick Henry, and Patrick Kennedy, it should be good enough for us. If you pay taxes to the federal government, your representative should have a vote in the Congress of the United States. And that's what we want to grant here today. When we think about all the major issues that are debated in Congress, the economy, health care, education, the direction of our national security, these issues affect the residents of the District of Columbia the same way they affect Maryland or Virginia or Texas or Alabama or North Carolina. Yet the D.C. residents do not have a vote on these issues. How would you feel, Madam President, if you didn't have anyone representing you on those issues, or if you could be, if your Congress people over there could have a voice but not a vote? I think the District of Columbia deserves this, and they've been waiting a very long time. The District of Columbia has been waiting for this for 200 years. Last year when we tried, we fell 3 votes short. But we're in a new day in Washington, and I hope that this new day will be new democracy, the expansion of democracy. We love to expand democracy around the world. Let's expand democracy to the District of Columbia. The District of Columbia has been made the target of congressional pet projects. We shove ideas often at them. We undo what they often want to pass for themselves, and we think that they should be able to have a vote to be able to exercise the direction both for themselves and for the nation. Currently, the D.C. residents are represented by a delegate. This would give full voting power in the House of Representatives. It would give Utah 1 additional representative. This solution is fair and it's nonpartisan, and it will enfranchise 600,000 District of Columbia residents and also enfranchise the state of Utah to have 1 additional representative that they barely missed in a census that was flawed in many ways. So, Madam President, I stand here today as a friend and neighbor to the people of the District of Columbia. We in Maryland live next door to the district. Many of the constituents I represent, the sons and daughters live in Maryland, the moms and dads continue to live in the District of Columbia. And I know them. I know their fierce devotion to this country. The fact that they are proud to be residents of the capital of the United States of America. They love doing their duty by participating in their community, by paying their taxes and going to war if necessary. But they believe that participation in taxation should have representation. And I believe, like they do, we should give it to them, and we should give it to them this week in this Senate. The time is now.